After Dad's death, Mom abandoned me and Emily, leaving a note. Aunt Karen raised us. Years later, Mom returned, sober, seeking forgiveness. Emily's trying to reconnect, but I'm stuck, torn between anger and guilt, unsure if I can forgive her. I don't even know where to start with this. I've been carrying this story around for years, and it's like this heavy thing in my chest that I can't shake. I've never told anyone the full thing, not my friends, not my sister, not even the therapist I saw for a few months before I couldn't afford it anymore. But I can't sleep tonight, and I just need to get it out somewhere, even if it's to a bunch of strangers on the internet. Sorry if this is a mess. I'm not a writer, and I'm just typing this as it comes to me. I'm 27 now, but this all started when I was 14. My dad died in a car accident. It was one of those stupid, senseless things. A drunk driver ran a red light and hit him head-on when he was coming home from work. He was a middle school math teacher, the kind of guy who'd stay late to help kids with algebra and then come home and make us laugh with his terrible dad jokes. He wasn't perfect, but he was solid. Like, you knew he'd always be there, no matter what. Until he wasn't. My mom, I don't even know how to describe her back then. She was a stay-at-home mom, super involved in our lives. PTA meetings, baking cookies for our soccer games, all that stuff. She and my dad seemed happy, at least from what I could tell as a kid. My sister, Emily, who was 11 when it happened, always said Mom was her best friend. I didn't have that kind of relationship with her, but I loved her, you know. She was my mom. After Dad died, everything changed. At first, it was like Mom was trying to hold it together. She planned the funeral, dealt with the insurance stuff, and kept us fed and in school. But looking back, I can see the cracks. She'd sit at the kitchen table at night, staring at nothing, with a glass of wine that never seemed to empty. She stopped smiling, stopped asking us about our day. Emily would try to hug her, and Mom would just pat her back like she was on autopilot. I didn't know how to talk to her about it. I was a kid, and I was grieving too. I missed Dad so much it felt like my chest was caving in, but I didn't know how to say that out loud. About 6 months after the accident, Mom started going out at night. She'd say she was meeting friends, but she never said who. She'd come back late, smelling like smoke and something sharper, like whiskey. Emily and I would stay up, watching TV, waiting for her to come home. I'd put Emily to bed when she fell asleep on the couch, and I'd lie awake, wondering where Mom was. I didn't know what to do. I was 14, man. I could barely handle my own homework, let alone figure out how to fix my mom. Then one day I came home from school, and there was a note on the kitchen counter. It was in Mom's handwriting, messy, like she'd written it in a hurry. It said, "I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. I love you both, but I need to go. Take care of Emily. I'll be back when I'm better." That was it. No phone number, no address, nothing. I read it over and over, thinking I was misunderstanding it. Like, maybe she meant she was going to the store or something. But her closet was half empty, and her suitcase was gone. She'd left us. Emily came home an hour later, and I had to tell her. I'll never forget her face. She just crumpled like all the air went out of her. She kept asking, why didn't she take us with her? I didn't have an answer. I still don't. We stayed in the house that night, just the two of us. I didn't call anyone because I was scared they'd split us up, like in foster care or something. I made us mac and cheese, and we sat on the couch, watching some dumb cartoon Emily liked. I kept thinking, she'll come back tomorrow. She just needs a day. But tomorrow came, and she didn't. The next few days are a blur. I tried to keep things normal for Emily, got her to school, made sure she ate. I used the cash Mom left in the kitchen drawer to buy groceries. But I knew we couldn't keep going like that. I was terrified, but I finally called my aunt, Dad's sister, Karen. She lived a few hours away, and I hadn't seen her since the funeral. I told her what happened, and she drove over that same day. Aunt Karen took us in. She was a single mom with 2 kids of her own, and her house was small, but she didn't hesitate. She was furious at Mom, but she tried not to show it around us. She just hugged us and said we'd be okay. I don't know how she did it, adding 2 more kids to her life like that, but she made it work. We moved to her town, switched schools, and started over. Emily struggled a lot. She was so angry, but she was also just sad. She'd cry at night, asking why Mom didn't love us. I'd try to tell her it wasn't about us, that Mom was just broken, but I didn't really believe it myself. I was angry too, but I pushed it down because I felt like I had to be strong for Emily. I started working part-time at a grocery store when I was 16 to help Aunt Karen with money. I didn't want to be a burden. We didn't hear from Mom for years. No calls, no letters, nothing. I checked her old email once when I was 17, using the password I remembered from when she'd let me use her laptop as a kid. There was nothing. No sent messages, no drafts. It was like she'd vanished. I stopped looking after that. I told myself I didn't care anymore. Life went on. I graduated high school, got a job at a hardware store, and started taking community college classes part-time. Emily got into art. She's really talented, could probably sell her stuff if she wanted to. Aunt Karen became our mom in every way that mattered. She wasn't perfect. She'd get stressed and snap sometimes, but she always apologized. She showed up to Emily's art shows and my boring college award ceremonies. She made us feel like we belonged. Then, last year, out of nowhere, Mom showed up. I was 26. Emily was 23. I was at Aunt Karen's house for dinner when the doorbell rang. Karen answered it, and I heard her voice go quiet, then sharp. I walked to the door, and there she was, Mom. She looked older, thinner, with gray in her hair. She was wearing this cheap jacket and jeans that didn't fit right. She smiled, but it was shaky, like she wasn't sure it was okay. I didn't know what to feel. Part of me wanted to hug her, and part of me wanted to slam the door in her face. Emily came out of the kitchen, and she just froze. Mom started crying, saying she was sorry, that she'd been in a bad place, that she'd never stopped thinking about us. She said she'd been in rehab, that she was sober now, that she wanted to make things right. Karen was pissed. She told Mom she had no right to show up like that she'd hurt us enough. But Emily, she started crying too, and she went outside to talk to Mom. I stayed inside, listening to Karen rant about how Mom didn't deserve us. I felt like I was 14 again, standing in that kitchen, reading that note. Emily came back in after an hour, and she said Mom was living in a halfway house a couple of hours away. She'd been homeless for a while, struggling with addiction. Alcohol, then pills. She said Mom wanted to see us again, to try to be in our lives. Emily was torn up about it. She wanted to believe Mom could change, but she was scared of getting hurt again. I didn't talk to Mom that day. I couldn't. I told Emily I needed time, and she got it. But it's been a year, and I'm still stuck. Emily's been meeting Mom for coffee every couple of months. She says Mom's trying, going to meetings, working a job at a diner. Emily says she's not the same person she was when she left. But I can't shake the anger. Like, where was she when I was making sure Emily didn't starve? When I was lying awake, wondering if we'd end up in foster care? When I had to grow up overnight because she bailed? I know she was grieving too. I know losing Dad broke her. And I know addiction's a disease, not a choice. I've read all the articles, listened to Emily talk about it, but it doesn't make it hurt less. It doesn't erase the years we lost. I feel like a jerk for not wanting to see her, especially when Emily's trying so hard to forgive her. But I also feel like I'm protecting myself, you know? Aunt Karen says it's my choice, that I don't owe Mom anything. But I keep wondering if I'll regret it if I don't at least try. What if she really is better now? What if she dies and I never get the chance to hear her side? But then I think about that note, and I want to scream. I don't know what I'm asking for here. Maybe I just needed to write it all out. If you've been through something like this, how did you deal with it? How do you forgive someone who hurt you that bad? Or do you even have to forgive them at all? I'm so tired of carrying this around, but I don't know how to let it go. Thanks for reading, I guess. Sorry it's so long. I didn't expect to write this much, but once I started, I couldn't stop. Wow. I didn't expect so many replies. I'm trying to read through them all, but I'm at work, so it might take a bit. Thanks for the kind words and advice. It means a lot to know I'm not alone in this mess.